Some journeys seem to converge as if guided by an unseen hand. The intersection is too poetic to be mere coincidence. On the same Caribbean island, just 15 minutes apart, two lives began, each destined for something greater than themselves. Edwin Rosario captured his first world title at only 20 years old. Yet fate, ever weaving its intricate design, saw him lose that crown to the very challenger he defeated for the title, Jose Luis Ramirez. In turn, Ramirez would falter to Hector Camacho, crowning Camacho the WBC lightweight world champion. Thus, the destinies of the two Puerto Rican legends became inextricably linked, the paths shaped by triumph, loss, and a never-ending pursuit of glory. The date was set, June 13, 1986. In the ring, two distinctly different boxing styles would collide. Hector Camacho embodied the art of speed and finesse, a slick, fast, and elusive boxer puncher whose exceptional hand and foot speed allowed him to dictate range and rhythm. Blessed with cat-like reflexes, Camacho's defense was slick and elusive. His flamboyance and charisma made him a polarizing figure, captivating audiences not just with his skills, but with the showmanship. At this stage in his career, Camacho was notably more aggressive, blending offensive bursts with his trademark movement. Across him stood Edwin Rosario, the archetype of an aggressive boxer puncher with a reputation for devastating power. Rosario's right hand was a cannon, capable of ending any bout in an instant. He ruthlessly pressed forward, seeking opportunities to land butchering shots, yet his approach was grounded in solid fundamentals, who was much more than just a knockout artist. In this bout, Rosario's raw aggression and power would test the limits of Camacho's speed and tactical acumen, setting the stage for a classic clash of styles. When faced against a brute puncher, discipline is rooted in never becoming complacent or drawn into exchanges. Speed and movement are the antidote to brute power. For a puncher's strength to be most effective, three key factors come into play. First, they are at the most dangerous whenever you remain within the line of fire. Second, the power is maximized when they are able to plant the feet for full leverage. Third, the risk escalates if you allow yourself to be lured into exchanges, where the power can change the dynamic of the outcome. Staying mobile, disrupting the rhythm, and refusing to engage on their terms were essential to neutralizing the threat. Rosario's right hand was the hammer, so it only made sense for Camacho to use lateral movement, circling counterclockwise, away from Rosario's power side. This movement avoided Camacho of getting trapped against the ropes and gave him plenty of space to maneuver around the ring, deterring him of being cornered. By consistently moving away from Rosario's right hand, Camacho forced him to overextend and reach across his body to land his signature punch. With Camacho maintaining distance, Rosario's right hand repeatedly fell short of his target, neutralizing much of his threat. The main priority was to defend against Rosario's right hand. Everything else was secondary. Movement is only as effective as the jab that supports it. Lateral movement by itself isn't enough to avoid an aggressive puncher. You must also keep them off balance and out of position. Camacho maintained a busy, active jab, not always aiming to lane, but to control the distance between himself and Rosario. The constant threat of the jab prevented Rosario from easily closing a gap, as he couldn't simply step in without risking getting hit. This controlling jab also bought Camacho time to react defensively if Rosario tried to close the distance. And if Camacho's jab could touch Rosario, it meant his left hand could too. With the speed advantage, Camacho adopted an ambush style, easing off the pressure before suddenly darting into the pocket. He could close the gap in one single explosive step, unleashing rapid-fire combinations. While effective, this approach carries significant risks. The longer the combinations, the longer he had to sit in the pocket, exposed before the exit. The key difference between a fast puncher and a bruiser is that a bruiser is willing to take those quick shots just to land one of their own. Fast punchers snap the punches back immediately after landing, aim to throw as many as possible. In contrast, a bruiser plants the feet and follows through with each punch, so when it connects, it'll rattle you to your core. When you're young, confidence means believing you're untouchable, but experience teaches you that the more you throw, the more you open up. And when you're staying too close to that fire, don't be surprised if you get burnt. As Rosario pursued Camacho, the timing came when Camacho's back foot lined with his front, a position he often used to push off for an attack or pivot away. At that instant, Rosario fired a right cross down the middle, narrowly missing. Camacho would respond with a lead hook counter, also missing by inches, only to be caught by Rosario's left hook in the ensuing exchange. And just like that, in that one short stint of time, is all it took to nearly end Camacho's night early.
There you see, I was talking about. And a right hand by Rosario. Camacho against the ropes. He's hurt, Barrett. And the Camacho is in serious trouble here. And he's got a long way to go.
With Camacho's legs unsteady beneath him, he was unable to generate enough power to keep Rosario off of him. The only thing that kept him up that round was sheer heart and conditioning.
Rosario had him down twice and might have gotten a little long way. There was a hard shot at Camacho legs are gone. But Camacho showing some smarts and resourcefulness.
After surviving a fit, Camacho needed to regain some of the ring control he nearly lost. Attacking the head immediately was too risky, so he focused on going to the body instead, a shift to somehow slow the puncher down. Along with his lateral movements and jabs, Camacho began looking for routes to the body. This also created another layer of threat to open the head. After shooting his punches, Camacho always made sure to exit and jab his way out as a precaution. Rosario's footwork was too slow to keep up. Although he managed to push Camacho back, he just couldn't cut off the ring. The only real opportunity Rosario had was to throw the right cross when Camacho committed to his lead jab. While a few of those right hands landed, Camacho was on high alert to the right hand. He would jab to draw out Rosario's straight cross, then counter over it and slip away. Given the circumstances, Rosario made the most of his abilities. Unable to cut off the ring, he was largely limited to waiting for rare openings to land his right cross on Camacho. By neutralizing Rosario's right hand, Camacho effectively took away his most dangerous weapon in the fight. Movement in boxing revolves around a continual adjustment of foot positioning. Camacho pulled Rosario in, causing him to blindly follow him into the abyss. This allowed Camacho to draw Rosario in and strike before Rosario could properly set his feet. The move dictated the action, fighting strictly on his own terms. If Rosario couldn't catch Camacho with the right cross, he was left vulnerable to Camacho's ambushing tactics with no effective response. In any fight, you can only be evasive for so long before the exchanges become a matter of probability. Even if Rosario missed 6 punches, sooner or later, one was bound to connect, just as it did in the 5th.
Well, Jimmy Jacobs, the manager of Rosario, stated that he's to take a corner. There was a good right hand by Rosario, his best from those left hands of Camacho. To the body, Rosario. Rosario, right hand. Too much, not trying to slow him down in the body. And doing so, he is hit, honey. And he's not capitalizing his mistakes as he rushes in.
That moment came again in the 11th, when Camacho's legs slowed enough just for Rosario to find his moment.
Fights. Camacho has thrown a lot of punches. There was a left hand by Rosario to pounce on Camacho, who's hurt. Rosario's got about 15 seconds, and he's on him again. And Camacho.
This served as a grim reminder that against a puncher of Rosario's caliber, you can shake and jive for most of the round, but it only takes a brief opening for the momentum to shift. Those fleeting moments are all a fighter like Rosario needed to turn the tides. Some call it running. Others see it as the fundamental art of boxing. Ultimately, the outcome rests in the hands and eyes of the judges, whose interpretation shape a fighter's fate. Camacho emerged with a narrow split decision win, a victory weighted with lessons. Experience, when heeded, is both a humble teacher and a wise instructor. This bout marked a turning point in Camacho's career, taming him into a boxer who relied on slick movement and avoided his offensive urges to overengage. The punishment he endured from Rosario in their exchanges left an indelible mark, prompting an evolution in his style, one shaped by both survival and self-discovery.